Today we're talking about non-toxic, handmade wood cutting boards and why you should consider getting one for your kitchen. I am what you might call a cooking enthusiast. I really enjoy making high quality meals for my family. After all, what would be the point of going through all the effort of raising our own animals organically if I weren't going to do it upright in the kitchen in the end? But my journey into home cooking really started when we switched to a whole foods diet, which was about 2 years before we ever started homesteading. When our family switched to the whole foods diet, I found myself in need of a cutting board a lot more than I used to before, because I was cooking with many more raw ingredients and having to process a lot more vegetables. At the time, I was using a lot of cheap plastic cutting boards, ones that I could just throw in the dishwasher when I was done with them, and they just really didn't cost much. As I learned more about healthy living and healthy food, I found out more about the toxins that are found in the plasticizers in plastic materials, such as these cutting boards. I learned that there's a potential for these plasticizers in the cutting boards to leach into our food that I was putting on it, especially the hot roasts that I put on a plastic cutting board that would require some carving. In addition, plastic cutting boards are known to harbor pathogenic bacteria in them as well, in all the little cuts and scratches on the surface of the cutting board. So I set out on a journey to find a better alternative, a non-toxic alternative to the plastic cutting board. While searching the internet for these options, I came across a lot of options for bamboo cutting boards. What I came to find out with bamboo, though, is it's often a pulp material that is fused together by using a lot of glue, and these glues tend to have toxic substances in them, such as formaldehyde. Formaldehyde and these other toxic ingredients aren't exactly what I was looking for as a substitute to the plasticizers. The search continued, and I found other wood cutting board options. However, most of these other options were cutting boards that also use glue to fuse several pieces of wood together, or they were finished with mineral oil. Mineral oil is probably one of the most commonly used finishes on wooden kitchen utensils and cutting boards. However, mineral oil comes from petroleum, just like those plastic cutting boards. Though the FDA does have a food grade designation for mineral oil, the FDA, to keep in mind, is the same government agency that says it's okay to spray our food with glyphosate, atrazine, and 2,4-D and then still eat the food. Just when I was getting ready to give up the search, I found a company called Urthware. Urthware is a company out of Canada that specializes in making high-quality, handmade, non-toxic wood cutting boards. I got this first cutting board from Urthware in 2015. This is a face grain cutting board that's made out of one solid piece of wood, so there is no glue involved at all in the construction of this cutting board. Another really awesome quality to the Urthware cutting boards is that they're all finished with walnut oil blended with a beeswax. No mineral oil. I have found walnut oil to be a really good finish for wood products, and best of all, it's an organic product that's not going to leach any toxins into your food. If you do have a walnut allergy, Urthware offers a coconut oil finish mixed with the beeswax in lieu of the walnut. This cutting board has been an absolute workhorse in our kitchen. We've used it nearly every single day since we've gotten it. We process all of our veg on it. This little guy right here we got at the same time that we got our bigger cutting board, and we primarily use this cutting board for serving charcuterie and cheeses when we have guests over. We also use it for slicing fruit and use it generally as a serving board on our table. As my culinary activities increased in the kitchen, I wanted to step up to an end grain cutting board, mainly for my kitchen scale butchery, including processing bacon, boning out shoulder joints, The end grain cutting board would be easier on my knife blade and also provide me a place to process meat separate from the cutting board that we use for our veg, so we don't have a cross-contamination issue. That is when I stepped up to this big boy right here. This is an end grain cutting board made by Urthware. Picture a tree that's growing upright out of the ground. The grain of the tree goes vertically. So if you cut the tree down and it's laying on its side now, the wood that's going this way is the face grain. All the little ends of the vertical grain, that is the end grain, which can be demonstrated here by this vegetable brush. So when you take your knife and you're cutting on an end grain cutting board, the knife is able to actually sink a little bit into the wood, therefore it's not bending and dulling the edge of your knife blade. This gives you a sharper knife blade for a longer amount of time. The disadvantage to an end grain cutting board is that the end grains generally aren't very big pieces. Therefore, it takes a lot of smaller pieces being glued together to form a sizable cutting board. So this cutting board does use glue in it. However, Urthware sources a really good glue that does not have formaldehyde in it, so it is actually the least toxic of glues available out in the market. Urthware also uses the largest possible end grain pieces, therefore it minimizes the amount of glue that's necessary in the construction of the cutting board. This cutting board is not only beautiful, it's been an absolute joy to use. I've really enjoyed this product. I bought my 4th cutting board from Urthware in the fall of 2017 when I had a lot of butchery upcoming. I knew I was going to be butchering at least 2 lambs and then several pigs, so I wanted to step up to an actual full-size butcher block. Urthware does not sell butcher blocks from their website. However, I did reach out to the owner, Mike, and asked him if he would be able to make a custom board for me. I wanted something in the neighborhood of 36 inches by 24 inches by 4 inches thick. So this was a really nice chopping block size. Mike said he hadn't made any cutting boards that large before, but he wanted to take on the challenge. Mike certainly did not disappoint. He sent me this awesome chopping block. It was about 100 pounds, so the shipping on it was pretty expensive, but it was totally worth it. All of our cutting boards have been featured several times on our YouTube channel, mainly in cooking videos, but sometimes in a butchery video. But given that, Mike from Urthware reached out to me and asked me if I could share with you guys his latest cutting board as well as the newest thing to their lineup, wooden utensils. This is the newest style face grain cutting board by Urthware. This cutting board is a little bit bigger than my other face grain one that we use. It's 100% Canadian hardwood sugar maple. On the bottom of the cutting board, just like all the other Urthware cutting boards, there are 4 natural rubber feet, stainless steel screws, and there are 2 stainless steel rods that go through the cutting board to keep it from warping. On the sides of the cutting board are these really good finger indentions so you can pick up the cutting board with ease and move it around as necessary. That is an improved design over my old cutting board, which only had these little fingertip grooves. It doesn't have the full cutout. Urthware is now making wooden kitchen utensils such as spoons and spatulas for cooking purposes. The reason for using a wooden utensil versus a plastic utensil is the same as it is with cutting boards. It's to mitigate toxicity. Many people are using plastic utensils and then introducing that into their hot skillet, their hot food, which is potentially creating an environment for the plasticides that are just, again, leaching out into the food. And again, this is counterproductive to the person or family who is raising their own meat organically or sourcing it from a local farmer. Wood does not leach petroleum-based toxins into your food, so it is really the best non-toxic alternative to plastic utensils. Also, wood is much more polite on the surface of your cookware if you're using a stainless steel cookware. It's not going to scratch, dent, or scrape any of your cookware surfaces. Another thing I like about Urthware is on their website you can buy the walnut oil beeswax combo or coconut oil beeswax finish so that you can provide really good home care for your wooden utensils and cutting boards. Urthware has been a big part of our kitchen for the last several years, and we are really happy with the products we got from them, and we're going to continue doing business with them. If you're looking to reduce the toxicity in your life and you're in need of a wooden cutting board, I highly recommend you check out Urthware. There is a link to their website down below in the video description, just below this video. It's an affiliate link you can click on through. It's going to take you right to their page and you can check out all the different products they have to offer. And if you do go ahead and buy one of their products, I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comment section below what your results are with the products. If you like it, I'd love to get the feedback. Thanks.